can I travel back to the future in a DeLorean? Now, in the Back to the Future movie, the time machine they was going to originally use was a refrigerator. Should have been pretty cold and pretty weird. They ended up opting for a sports car. In fact, the DeLorean DMC-12. Now, when this two-door coupe first opened its gull-wing doors, this was like the most amazing car ever. Now, it might seem pretty futuristic, but actually, this car is closer than you think, because it was actually assembled in none other than Dunmurry, Northern Ireland. Now, the DeLorean used as the time machine in the movie is actually a modified version. You can see some extra bits in it, like the time display and the input console, which is kind of like a sat-nav for time rather than space. There's also the time circuits, and don't forget the most important flux capacitor, which Doc Brown says is the reason time travel is possible. But actually, fictional time travel technology aside, what actually is the real possibilities of traveling through time? Okay, so let's introduce Albert Einstein, whose theories of relativity indicate that the flow of time isn't uniform across the whole universe. For example, in his theory of general relativity, he indicates that the more gravity you have, the slower time ticks, which conversely means if you move further away from a gravity source, time will actually tick faster for you. In a similar way, his special theory of relativity indicates that the faster you travel, the slower time ticks for you. The name given to these time warping effects is time dilation. Now, I know it might sound freaky, but actually it's been verified experimentally. On GPS satellites in space, they actually undergo time dilation. Every day, the clocks on those satellites run at 38 microseconds faster than they would have if they was on Earth. Now, knowing these effects of time dilation has allowed engineers to tweak these clocks and these satellites to ensure that they maintain their accuracy. Now, time dilation is probably our best opportunity for real-life time travel. But could the DeLorean be using time dilation for its jump through time? Well, we know it has to achieve a speed of 88 miles per hour. But actually, using the ideas of time dilation at that speed, you'd have to travel for millions of years to even gain 1 second. So that'd be pretty rubbish. So what speed would we need to go at? Well, if we could get to within 1 meter per second of the speed of light, we'd be able to actually travel forward in time by 30 years whilst only aging by 21.5 hours. So that's a bit cooler. But there is a snag, again pointed out by Albert Einstein. It would take an infinite amount of energy to get any object up to the speed of light. And to even achieve the speeds that we want for our 21.5-hour trip, well, that would take the same amount of energy as the Earth gets from the Sun in a whopping 3 months. So if we could somehow harness the necessary energy to travel close to the speed of light, and we could develop a vehicle that could handle the strain of the journey, it really could be possible to travel forward in time, just like the movie. However, traveling back in time presents a whole different situation with its own unique problems. Imagine time traveling into the past and accidentally killing your grandfather before your parents were born. Well, if your parents were never born, then you couldn't have been born. And if you was never born, how did you manage to go back in time in the first place to accidentally kill your grandfather? This is known as the grandfather paradox. People have thought up ways to try and avoid paradoxes just like this, by theorizing the formation of alternative timelines, or even the existence of parallel universes. Now, since none of these theories are really helping us actually travel through time, we think we'll leave this for another conversation. So, given a robust enough time travel vehicle, and a method to produce the huge energies needed for the journey, and a suitable propulsion system to get up to the massive speeds needed, we could actually make a one-way trip into the future. But with current technology, the survey says